The War of the Worlds by H. G. Wells. The Coming of the Martians, narrated by John Rayburn. There were signs that H. G. Wells wasn't quite sure how to end his famous story, War of the Worlds, which featured an invasion from the planet Mars. He certainly knew how to do the story itself that pointed out Martians were highly advanced over humans in their technology. Wells used an unnamed narrator telling the tale in first-person style with input from his brother. The book was published in 1898, and even with the passing of years, there are no present-day traces of life on Mars, a reality that would have undoubtedly disappointed the author. Some of his thoughts about the other planet were of a strictly imaginary nature. In any case, he, like many others of today, would undoubtedly ask the question, can prophecy someday become reality? It brings up a personal reaction. Are you optimistic, pessimistic? Make your own choice. No matter what you are, either one can provide you with some very listenable material in the two premises involved, the coming of the Martians and the Earth Under the Martians. Sci-fi has been an extremely interesting and exhilarating form of literature created by a number of top-notch writers. They owe a debt of sorts to Wells for leading the way. Listen now to understand more fully. Book 1, Chapter 1, The Eve of the War. No one would have believed in the last years of the 19th century that this world was being watched keenly and closely by intelligences far greater than man's, and yet as mortal as his own, that as men busied themselves about their various concerns, they were scrutinized and studied, perhaps almost as narrowly as a man with a microscope might scrutinize the transient creatures that swarm and multiply in a drop of water. With infinite complacency, men went to and fro over this globe about their little affairs, serene in their assurance of their empire over matter. It is possible that the infusoria under the microscope do the same. No one gave a thought to the older worlds of space as sources of human danger, or thought of them only to dismiss the idea of life upon them as impossible or improbable. It is curious to recall some of the mental habits of those departed days. At most, terrestrial men fancied there might be other men upon Mars, perhaps inferior to themselves, and ready to welcome a missionary enterprise. Yet,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?